Hello and welcome to HitStartNow.com's YouTube channel. My name is Spud and I am one half of HitStartNow.com, co-hosting that motherfucker with my good man Matt. Now, if you're a fan of, say, the live streams or the podcast, the write-ups that go on HitStartNow.com, well then you'll more than likely know at this stage that I'm a big fan of collecting video games. Video games are a huge part of my life and I just love having physical media. I love it. I'm old school like that. I'm a big fan. So I decided that since I've spent so many years collecting up all these bits and pieces, it would be fun to somewhat show them off. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to play through my last month's worth of pickups. So there's been a couple of gems in here. There's a special edition, there's a promotional edition, and there's one or two other nice pickups. So do stick with me and we will play through those and see what I've got. So let's start off with my 3DS pickup of the last few weeks, which is Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate. Now, unlike most folks, I am a big fan of the Castlevania Lords of Shadow series. I know most people kind of brush it off and say that it's not Castlevania enough. Personally, I was really a big fan. This particular title, though, is very, very Castlevania, in fact. It doesn't play like the other Lord of Shadow games. It plays more like a traditional Castlevania. It's 2D. You find yourself very lost very quickly. There's a lot of whip mechanics in it, as there would have been in the old ones, and it's got that old school kind of Metroidvania feel to it. I'm not finished this game as of yet. I am slowly getting through it and I'm quite enjoying it. So far I have spent the game playing as Simon Belmont from Castlevania 2, who is the son of Alucard. Alucard went missing looking for Gabriel Belmont, who, if you've played the original Lord of Shadow, you'll know turned into Dracula. Now, unfortunately, this one doesn't have a whole lot going on the inside. There's no instruction manual or anything similar to that. There is whatever the hell this thing is over here. And even the game itself doesn't look all that impressive. It's not very pretty. It's very, very plain, if nothing else. It's kind of vanilla. So if you're a fan of Castlevania new or old, this could be the one for you. It's well worth checking out, and it bridges the gap between Lord of Shadow and Lord of Shadow 2. Hugely entertaining game so far. It also completes my Lord of Shadow collection, which I really enjoyed. I was a big fan of the Xbox 360 games, and Mirror of Fate is not letting me down. Sticking with portable gaming then, let's move along to the PSP. The PSP being an excellent little machine that I'm only really getting into over the last couple of months. It's one that I've never really given quite enough time to, and not the time that it really deserves in the past. So at the moment, the last one I picked up for it, and I'm trying to get a bit of a collection going. It's small and humble at the moment, but it's growing. And the last one was 300 March to Glory. Okay. 300 March to Glory. I have not had the pleasure as of yet of checking this out, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to be straight up. I am no fan of the 300 series. I have not read the comic books. I did not like the movie. For some reason, I'm constantly reminded of that horrible time I played Beowulf on Xbox 360. So, yeah, my love for 300, it's not very deep. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not going to pretend I am. So why did I pick up this particular game? Well, I thought it looked cool. Straight up, I thought it looked like it could be fun and nothing more. I like the idea of forming a phalanx, is that how you pronounce it, and taking dudes on like that. I like the idea of spear and shielding the face of the Persians. I think it could be a really, really good time. However, I haven't had the chance to check it out just yet. It also promises me blood and guts, which, being a Mortal Kombat fan, I'm a big fan of blood and guts. So, what have we got from March to Glory here, 300 March to Glory. Unlike my friend over there, Simon Belmont, this one does come with a quite in-depth instruction manual. This one's got a few little cool bits and pieces in it. It tells you all about the characters, for example. It tells you all about the weaponry and how to use it, how to use your attacks in certain ways, and it's got a huge combo listing as well, which, if nothing else, makes me more excited about the game. And I think I want to play this. I think I could have a good bit of fun playing it. I think it could be my cup of tea. I'm not 100%, but if nothing else, it would be worth checking out. Also, the artwork is absolutely brilliant right there. I love it. I love all the guys falling off the cliff up the top. I think it's very cool. I really like it. So, yeah, I hope it's not as bad as Beowulf or my last PSP pickup, which was Hellboy Science of Evil, which was also shite. Speaking of PlayStation, let's move on to my personal favourite console of all time, which is the PlayStation 2. I am such a fanboy for that machine. I really am, ridiculously so. As you can see behind me, it's about half of my PS2 collection. The other half is behind the camera at the moment. I am a huge fan, and I have a hard time not picking up PS2 games if I see them. So there was one that I was going to pass by, but something caught my eye halfway through and I decided to pick it up, and that is Commandos 2 Men of Courage. Now, interestingly enough, the reason I decided to pick up Commandos 2 Men of Courage wasn't because of the absolutely god-awful, boring motherfucking title. I've never heard of Commandos 1. Commandos 2 Men of Courage is the most dull, tropey name I think I've ever heard. However, down the bottom here, you'll see that it was made by Eidos. These guys had a hand in the making of Tomb Raider, and if nothing else, that's as good enough a reason for me to shed a couple of bucks as any. So, with that in mind, I picked it up. I turned it around, I checked the back, and I was like, this actually looks like it could be fun. From what I can make out, now this is a game that I haven't had any hands-on time with as of yet. It does look, though, as if it's going to be something to the effect of a story-driven RTS. Or maybe something very similar. Utterly absorbing. This is a game that demands your complete attention, says the official PlayStation 2 magazine. Way back in, what year are we looking at down here? 2002. Okay, so quite some time ago, 15 years ago at the time of filming. So yeah, why the hell not? Let's pick it up. Let's see what it's like. And when I actually picked it up physically then, I realised, wow, this thing weighs a ton. About that. And that is because there is just one of the biggest instruction manuals I've seen in years in here. This thing is so thick you could knock a dude clean out with it. It's huge. I don't know how many pages there are offhand, but it's absolutely massive. It seems to go into great in-depth details about absolutely everything. So it's very cool. And as I said, it's huge. Look, it just keeps going. Is it true that back in World War II they used to actually use this manual to kill guys? Just knock them across the fucking head with it? I wouldn't be hugely surprised. We're talking 50, 52, 54 pages all in all. That's huge. Absolutely huge. It also comes with one of these, there are more things you can buy leaflets. What are we buying today? I just checked this out off screen there and had to cut it out. It shows some dude's address from Britain in there, so I'm afraid you did not get to send this off. I don't believe you got to win one of 3 Samsung TFT LCD TVs. Why is there an apostrophe in TVs? I don't know. Commandos 2 Men of Courage, though, looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It looks like the kind of game where if I was to turn it on, I may never actually get around to turning it back off. It's also in really good nick, which is always a bonus when you're picking up games that are 15 years old. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. I really, really am. Now let's move on then to games that I've already checked out. Yes, indeed, we are switching consoles once again. This time we're going to PlayStation's rivals, and we're kicking it up a generation as well to Xbox 360. And we're going with Clive Barker's Jericho, Saw, and Remember Me. Let's begin the Xbox 360 games then with a game that I vowed I would never play again. And that is Saw. Why did I vow I'd never play this again? Well, because the first time I played Saw, I lost a life in the very opening scene, and I was gifted an achievement for this, like I deserved it. That pissed me off because I am an achievement hunter and I have been for a long time. So, just passing me achievements for absolutely no reason, that grinds my gears somewhat. However, when I did pick this up, I realised that it was a promotional copy. So, being a promotional copy, I thought, oh, fuck it, let's do this. Let's pick it up, let's go for it. It doesn't even matter if I never play it again. Let's pick it up anyway, just to have a promotional copy in the house. Now, promotional copies seem to catch my fancy in a way where I would probably pick them up even if it was a game that I wasn't into, just for the fun of it, just because they're unusual. Now, if you have a look at this and then compare it to, let's say, Lord of Shadow 2 over here, for example, you'll see that Saw is hugely bleached. Yeah, it looks like it's been sitting in the sun for a very long time. Well, that's not actually the case. The case is that's how promotional copies look. They're not sun bleached. They haven't had a bit of wear and tear. They are they're just like that. They're just faded. The back, however, is not. The back looks pretty good. It's not bad at all. It's easy to read. It's the uncut version of it, allegedly, and it's all really, really cool. The front, however, looks bleached as all hell. That's apparently the crack with promotional copies. Now, I wasn't given this as a promo. That's not how I acquired this game. I am a video game journalist. That is my job, but that is not how I acquired this game. I found it randomly in the wild and I thought, let's have that. So, if we open it up then as well, to further look at how bland things are in promotional copies, you will see what Irish people in the business would refer to as a Tesco copy of the game. It's a white disc with very, very little on it. It's got absolutely no personality, and even the Xbox 360 logo and the Xbox Live logo up the top here, which would usually be translucent kind of green, are again grey and bland. The 18's logo down here, very, very much the same. It should be red, it's fucking not. Very, very boring looking cases because of that. But for some reason, I love them. This is only the second promo I have. I also have Alien Breed over here, Alien Breed Trilogy from Team 17, which is an absolutely marvellous trilogy of games. If you haven't played it, I would highly recommend it. If you can pick it up physically, go for it. If not, you can get it through Xbox Live Arcade, which is where it originally came out. So yeah, just for fun, just for these little strips right here, and for how bland, how just dull looking the discs are, it's worth it. This, bizarrely, being that dull makes it stand out from the crowd of hugely eye-catching games I have in my games room. Will I ever get back around to playing Saw? Will I give it a second chance? Only time will tell. Stay tuned on hitstatnow.com, maybe hitstatnow.com's podcast, and maybe it will come back up. Remember Me on Xbox 360. Remember Me was made by a bunch of guys that call themselves Capcom. You may or may not have heard of these guys. It's not like they've made anything important like, say, Resident Evil, Street Fighter, Mega Man, Devil May Cry, or anything like that. No, not at all. So you may or may not have heard of Capcom. However, of course I'm taking the piss. What I'm not taking the piss about though is the fact that you may or may not have heard of this particular title. Remember Me came out, I believe, in 2012. It features this lady on the front, a lady named Nilin, and it's a game in which you travel around remixing people's memories and trying your best to take down a corporation that are acquiring memories from everybody in Paris. It's an interesting idea. It's got some of the coolest mechanics I've seen in a video game in a long time. However, the game unfortunately didn't do very well. It didn't change the world when you remix memories, as it says up the top, unfortunately. It was really, really fun though, but it just wasn't a big seller. Now, I remember when this came out first, it was going to be a big deal because it was Capcom's first new IP in quite a long time. The first game that wasn't a sequel in quite some time. And it fell flat. Now, Remember Me wasn't a big seller. It fell through the cracks, and many games do. There are so many games hitting the market so often that sooner or later they're bound to fall through the cracks, and it's a shame because it's really, really worth playing. And if we open it up here, we'll see that the disc is kind of cool. It almost looks like it's straight out of a Wipeout game. It features the mark that you'll see on the back of Nilin's neck up here, which is used to access characters' memories throughout the game. It's also one of about 3 games I can think of off the top of my head that feature the Eiffel Tower on the cover. You've also got Endgame by Tom Clancy. You've got... oh, what was that game? It was Saboteur. Well, you played as an Irish guy, I believe. There's not much to the manual in this one, unfortunately. It's very, very slim. It's one of these slips that seem to be so popular these days. It's 4 pages. 4 pages is stretching the truth. It's one sheet of paper fucking folded over. But this is a really entertaining game. It's one that I would really like everyone to play, and I think it could be one of Xbox 360's hidden gems. It's cool. It's got some great fighting mechanics in it. Even though the fighting itself is kind of clunky, the mechanics built into that fight, which allow you to alter each and every move as you see fit in order to regenerate health or indeed do extra damage, whatever you would like it to do. It can be done. It can be altered to your liking. If you want to hear more about Remember Me on Xbox 360, tune into the latest HSN podcast on hitstartnow.com. You can download that directly. And let's move on to the final game I've picked up over the last couple of weeks, which is Clive Barker's Jericho. This is fucking cool, man. It's a big old steel case edition. It's got some really cool shit on it. And hello, motherfucking Clive Barker, yo. If you are a horror fan, you will be familiar with Clive Barker from the likes of Books of Blood and indeed Hellraiser, man. Come on. I like a bit of Clive Barker. I'd be more into the movies than anything else, but I was not hugely pushed on the idea of Jericho when it first saw it in action back in about 2006 when it first came out. This is not a new game. This came out very early in Xbox 360's life and indeed PS3's life. My nephew used to play this and he told me how awesome it was. And I looked at it and went, it doesn't look like horror. I'm not impressed. It looks like an action-based first-person shooter, which is exactly what it was. It was indeed an action-based first-person shooter. Intense FPS, battle horrific creatures, so on and so forth. Yes, it is indeed a first-person shooter, but it's a really fucking fun idea. The crack with this is simple. You play as Jericho team, a team of guys who battle supernatural forces. You get pulled into some form of hell dimension as the game goes on and fight lots of enemies. It's lots of fun. Again, we have covered it on hitstartnow.com's podcast. Check that out. Well, let's see. We've got a bulk of things here. Let's start off. We have the manual. Straight up, tells you what to do. It's good fun. It's got classified documentations and all sorts of other little bits and pieces in here. It's exactly what you'd expect from a manual of its time. And it's got some cool, gross stuff going on in the background there you'll see throughout the game. little nitbits about each of the characters as well, and what those characters are capable of. Each of the characters has their own special moves, and they're all very, very cool. It's good fun. You've also got free bonus codes from a website that I'm going to wager a guess and say no longer exists. Codemasters.co.uk. If you happen to work for Codemasters.co.uk and this does exist, what do you want from me? Sorry, son. Get over yourself. Now, this being a special edition, it's not just steel case, it's also got Clive Barker's image vault within it. Now, Clive Barker, I like his stuff, I'm a big fan, but he's a fucked up dude. He's got some crazy shit going on in his head, and as you go through this particular booklet, you can see some of that shit. And as you go through Jericho as a game, you'll also see a lot of it. There's some very, very disturbing imagery throughout the game, but it's what you'd expect from a horror writer. This particular boss being one of my personal favourites, he pulled open his stomach and puked guts at you. It's rotten. It's proper fucked up. Some of the guys on the other hand, like this dude and the dude on the front of the cover, not so exciting. They look more like they're carbon copies from The Suffering. I'm a big Suffering fan, but I want the Suffering creatures in The Suffering. If I'm looking at Clive Barker, I want Clive Barker creatures. Look at this motherfucker. Some weird shit going on in here, and that in itself is good fun. This SS crazy bitch up here too. And you've got another one of these buy our shit situations where you can buy Clive Barker Jericho, and plenty of other games from time like Rise of the Argonauts here, and I believe there are one or two others in here as well. Overlord was a big hit from what I can recall. Haven't played it myself. Yeah, the usual stuff, the usual advertisements, but it's a nice hefty little box. There's a lot going on in it, and it's a really cool little game. There's some absolutely brilliant ideas in Clive Barker Jericho, even though gameplay doesn't quite hold up these days. It's well worth playing. If you'd like to hear more about Jericho and Remember Me, well then check out the last 2 episodes of the HSN.com podcast. Of course, you can check that out on hitstartnow.com. We covered Jericho, we covered Remember Me, and we almost covered Jericho twice. I got a recommendation from my co-host Matt to stick with that game, even though I found it kind of deterring at the very beginning. Did I get back to it, and why did I get back to it if I did? Check out the shows, I'll link them down below. If there is anything else around the game room that you'd like to see, please let me know. I'm constantly adding to it, and if there are any recommendations of video games that you think I may have missed and I should play, again, hit me up and let me know, and stay tuned on hitstartnow.com. Just to finish up, if you want up to the minute updates on my video game collection and what games I'm getting, well then check out Snapchat. Hitstartnow, all one word, on Snapchat, where I'm constantly snapping all my new finds and all the incredible bullshit I get up to while hunting them down. Thanks for tuning in.